Companies around the world seek out any advantage over their competitors. But when governments intervene and mix subsidies with trade, you've got a recipe for tariffs. Subsidies are one of the most common tools that governments use to give their companies a leg up and to make products more affordable for their citizens. For example, the United States provides roughly $20 billion in farm subsidies to its farmers every year. Others subsidize their citizens' fuel consumption. So if most governments dole out subsidies, what's the big deal? And what's it got to do with trade? Well, some subsidies can distort trade and harm companies that compete with subsidized products. If a government pays for the fuel and materials that go into exports, other competitors will likely be at a disadvantage. Governments can respond to imports of subsidized goods with what are called countervailing duties, tariffs to offset the benefit that's provided by the foreign subsidy. Now, there are two types of subsidies that the World Trade Organization has said should be banned because they're designed to harm trading partners and foreign competition. Subsidies contingent on export performance and subsidies that are contingent on the use of domestic products. For example, let's say I operate a company that makes and sells steel bars, and my government passes a law that provides my company and other steel bar companies a tax credit for every bar we export. That means the government would be providing an export subsidy. Now suppose I run a car production plant and the government agrees to give me extra funding to expand my production, but only if my plant uses locally sourced auto parts. There, the government would be offering a local content subsidy. So what can be done to respond to prohibited subsidies like those? One option is for governments to seek their removal through litigation at the World Trade Organization. This can be an effective remedy, but it's also a lengthy and complicated process with an uncertain outcome. Another option is for companies to petition their own government for countervailing duties. The process for imposing countervailing duties mirrors the process for putting anti-dumping duties into place, which we covered in a previous video. Petitioners have to show the U.S. International Trade Commission, the ITC, that imports of the subsidized products are harmful to their industry. If the ITC makes a positive finding, the Commerce Department is given a green light to investigate whether subsidies are being provided and what tariff would offset them. Countervailing duties are subject to the same 5-year review as anti-dumping duties. So if the subsidy is no longer being provided, then the duties would go away. Sometimes subsidies can be hard to uncover or be part of a web of other policies that incentivize exports and harm competition. In some cases, the United States has come under fire from other governments for the way that we calculate our countervailing duty rates. The U.S. maintains 109 countervailing duty orders on 17 different countries. As with anti-dumping duties, China is by far the top target. Countervailing duties can be a useful tool to protect specific industries from specific foreign subsidies. But like anti-dumping duties, they are not a silver bullet to remedy all unfair trade practices.